Today, I'm going to break down 3 automations that you can set up to actually start closing clients every month on Autopilot. Now, this is going to be for leads that are on the fence. Maybe they've already said no, or maybe they're actually already even clients. Now, there's two main things that I see when working with my clients. One is they don't have enough attention, and two, the attention that they do have, they're not converting it to their fullest capabilities. Now, the thing about sales calls is that, yes, obviously the goal is to get as many as you can. Now, with that being the case, right? You're going to get unqualified leads on there, right? You're also going to get qualified leads, but this is really for the unqualified leads, right? And that's why these automations are going to be so important. Now, if you're new here, my name is Chase Will, and I've worked one-on-one with over 150 brands, helping them save time and grow by leveraging proven sales systems. Now, these automations I'm talking about, they're all done through Go High Level. I truly believe Go High Level is one of the leading softwares out there for businesses just because everything is all in one house, right? It was actually made by marketers for other marketers, right? And for other businesses. And just how fast they actually adapt and change really is convenient. So everything is done through Go High Level, but let's actually get into these automations. Now, the first one I'm talking about is going to be a deposit campaign or deposit automation. And this all starts on the call itself. Now, the last thing that we want to do is after a call is go take the time, spend the hour, 2 hours to build this fancy proposal just to have the client ghost us, right? Or the prospect ghost us. So what we want to do is not necessarily give them the ball in their court and tell us, hey, we want to do this on our time only. What we say is, hey, how about we go over the agreement right here on the call, right? And if they still need some time, great, we'll give it to them. However, in order to actually lock your spot in, it requires $100 deposit, right? And this is just because of bandwidth. And obviously, if you're taking more calls, right? And you're signing more clients, you need to actually be able to know that you're going to be able to fulfill for each client. And if you're, again, taking tons of calls, you need to know what your bandwidth is. So this all just starts basically on the call itself. And literally, you just drag them into the automation from the CRM, and the emails start going out. Now they're getting case study emails only before the next call actually happens, right? So 2 to 3 days, they're only getting these case study emails. They're getting the payment link, and then they automatically get updated into your CRM, right? So obviously super convenient. Now, this next one is going to be for people that said no. Now, obviously, we need to figure out why they actually said no. And there's going to be a lot of different factors, right? They could be a timing issue. It could be a fear issue. They could just not be clear on what is actually you're trying to sell them, right? Now, if they said no on the call, that's fine, but we need to understand why they actually said no, right? Because there's multiple different reasons. Is it fear that they don't think they're going to get results? Are they uncertain of what the product or what the delivery actually looks like? Is it a timing thing? Like, what is actually going on, right? And a lot of times it just comes down to not having a high enough perceived value. Now, obviously, we can do this in nurture emails, but the one thing that we actually can control is if they don't have money, right? If they're qualified in every other area, but they just don't meet the money requirements, what you can do, for example, like let's just say that your offer is 5 grand. Let's just say it's 5 grand one time, right? And instead of doing all up front, right? You could do half now and half in 16 weeks or whatever, you mess around with it when whatever you figure out. Now, obviously, the key here is to still add urgency, right? Because there needs to be some sort of time window that they have to act on. Otherwise, that would, take away from your main offer. So really what this looks like is just setting up a downsell campaign, right? Or automation that if they're not actually qualified on the call, again, you're giving them a specific time limit of when the window or the offer actually expires. Now, lastly is my favorite, which is the upsell for the current clients. And basically what this looks like is trigger links inside of certain automations that then get them into a sales sequence, right? Now that sales sequence is super targeted and segmented to speak to their direct buying language, right? So that's what that looks like. And one of the things I actually help my clients do is implement these lead magnets that get people into your ecosystem, right? Because basically what I call is the cookie growth model, which is one of the best ways to actually grow. It's to earn trust upfront, right? So free lead magnets, $7 lead magnets, $19 lead magnets. These are things that actually get people into our ecosystem, right? And not only that, but they actually get people to the next level. So if you want help building your lead magnets or want a bird's eye view, go ahead and book a call with me below. Otherwise, I have another video here on my YouTube channel where I show you my exact strategy of how I book calls with organic content.